right, in this video, let's talk about what you personally would say to a rideshare driver to try and sell them on the club. How do you go about that?
Well, that's a subjective thing. It's going to be different for everybody. I mean, I can tell you what I say, but what I say isn't necessarily going to be what every driver should say. But here's what I do. Normally, you don't run into any drivers at all if it's busy because everybody's busy. But once in a while, you'll be at an airport or a train station, for instance, and you'll see two or three cars sitting there. And everybody's taking a break, so you get out. What I do is get out of the car and walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing tonight? What's going on? A little slow tonight? How you making out? Hit any surges lately?" It's just BS, making friends. Somewhere in the conversation, I'll say, "Have you heard of this RideShare Drivers Club yet?" 99% of them, actually almost close to 100% of them, will say no. Right? Very few people are aware of what's going on yet. They say, "No, what's that?" I whip out my card. I said, "RideShare Drivers Club is for all us drivers, Uber Black, Uber X, Uber XL, for Lyft. We're all in the same boat. And it's for the passengers. We're all coming together in a website to supplement our incomes. Drivers because of the fare cuts, passengers because they always want to make some more money." And they say, "Well, tell me more about it." Usually they'll say more about it. Unless we get a ping in between them, we have to run our separate ways. But you usually have within 3 or 4 minutes, you can bring up the topic of the website. And they're interested to know because one of the first words out of my mouth is that you'll be able to make residual income on top of your regular Uber fare. The Uber pays come in their account every Wednesday. They're used to that, and it's a feel-good thing. Now they can get residual incomes coming into their account. I tell them this, and it's true. They get residual incomes if they join the club every month, and that's a real good feeling because that keeps growing. Unlike our Uber fares, we keep reducing every month. So it's a matter of what your personality is. If you're a shy type, you may not want to go up to a stranger. But if you're an entrepreneurial type, like you should be, if you have your own rideshare business, you want to talk to not only the passengers, but other drivers. Because the other drivers, let's face it, there's 750,000 Uber drivers and Lyft drivers in the country. Every one of them would love to make some extra income. So that's your market. So if you're shy, throw that shyness away because you're doing them a favor, you're doing yourself a favor, you're doing everybody a favor by letting them know how they can supplement their income because they're all hurting. So as far as the approach is going to be different for everybody. It's what your personality is. Even if you're a shy person, it's easy to give somebody a card and say, "Here, buddy, check this out." And that could be the end of it. That could be your approach. If you give out enough cards, it's a numbers game. But I think that you'll be able to interest and convert more new drivers into the program by being personable and making friends with them because they are your friend. You're all playing for the same team and you all have basically the same problems. And if you can solve one of their problems, which is a nice thing to do for them, that I think you'll get a good response.
Yeah, I think one thing I'd want to point out there is sales really is about solving people's problems. I mean, if you can solve their problem, then you make the sale. And that's a completely different ball game than...
We don't like to use the word sale because, people are afraid to sell things to people.
Well,
we're not
exactly,
actually
and
selling
you're not selling them. You're solving their problem. Whereas if you're trying to
and
sell
the easy thing about it is we know what their problem is.
Right.
We all have a common problem. So you're already have an alliance going with even a stranger. You're both Uber drivers or Lyft or whatever. You're both rideshare drivers. And the problems are common throughout the whole industry. So you actually have a friend walking in, so you shouldn't think that they're strangers. And don't treat them like strangers. Treat them like your friend that you're going to help. So you wouldn't sell something to your friend or your family. You would help them if the product is good enough.
Exactly.
So
and I think that's kind of the bottom line.
That's the approach I think that everyone should take with it. And don't have the selling mindset of a salesman because Salesmen are like a used car salesman. Everybody hates them.
Right. Right. And a lot of people back away from doing that kind of thing because that's what they think of with sales. They think sales is automatically going to be some shyster going up to them and feeding them a line of bull and
you know what?
trying to
This
sell
is not
snake
sales.
oil. And this is not that. It really is. But, okay, so you use your business cards as a tool, and you start out by just kind of being friendly and chit-chatting. And then when you feel the time is right, you say, have you heard of this RideShare Drivers Club yet? And then you give them their card, and then you just explain it. So
if you have a QR business card, they don't have to do anything right there. Listen, when you get home off your shift, you got a couple of minutes, use your smartphone, click on the QR, and it'll take you right to the site. It'll tell you everything in detail, better than I can in a 5-minute elevator speech.
Okay. Well, that's good advice for people. All right. Well, that's the end of another fine episode.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope our viewers enjoyed it.
I think so too. And so we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Thanks.
Sure.